everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's so funny because this minute you're without a child and the next moment once you deliver you have a child that you need to feed. You need to breastfeed, something that you have no previous experience about, especially as a first-time mom like me. That's why you have me, guys, because in this video I'm going to be telling you everything about breastfeeding. So today's video is breastfeeding 101. If you would like to know how to breastfeed, how to handle that new phase, definitely keep watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay, let's get right into this video. So the first thing you should understand with breastfeeding is that you're not the only one new to it. The child was in the womb, had no prior experience as well, so everybody is going to do a form of adaptation, and that's what you have to be prepared for. Okay, so first off, your baby has to learn how to latch, and you have to help your baby learn how to latch on your nipple, because without this appropriate technique you will struggle with breastfeeding. Your baby will also struggle and can lead the both of you into frustration. While I was pregnant, someone suggested that I film this video talking about breastfeeding. That was, I think, during breastfeeding week of last year, but I'm like, you know what, it's going to be different when I have an experience. You know, textbook is different from experience. Just the way my delivery was very different from textbook. You know, it's easy to say, and you know, we have this medical knowledge as a doctor, but when you go through these things, it's different, I tell you guys. And because I have gone through it, I might have one or two extra tips that I could chip in that are not in the books. Let's quickly talk about a little biology here. When you look at the structure of the breast, there is the nipple and there is the areola. Okay, so the nipple and the areola are the parts that need to fit into the baby's mouth. Okay, so when you just deliver your baby, or whenever you're ready to breastfeed your child and you put your baby to breast, ensure that you are putting your baby to breast, not you to the baby. Okay, I'll talk about the position you're supposed to take much later, but first of all, let's talk about the baby. You're putting your baby, you know, they're still small, so the baby can fit to your breast or whichever hand is comfortable for you. So you're putting your baby to your breast. That way the baby can hold on to the nipple, and with this picture that you can see here, you can see that the entire nipple of the mother is into the baby's mouth, like deep into the baby's mouth, and the areola as well is in the baby's mouth. Okay, so you can use the sandwich technique, which is using your two hands, either this one and this, to kind of support your breast and put it into your baby's mouth. So this, let's take it like, they call it the sandwich method. Okay, let's take it like this. So this is the bread, this is the bread, and then your breast is the meat in between, and all the rishi that used to happen there. Okay, so your breast comes in between these two fingers, and then you support and assist your baby to grab that. God has blessed babies, and God has made that way that there's a sucking reflex. There's this instinct for them to suck and to drag. So all you need to do is to assist the baby get the right position. And once they find comfort, once the baby is able to stay well, they will be able to suck appropriately. Why is this latching technique so important? It is so important because if your baby doesn't hold on to the nipple and the areola well, number one, they don't get enough breast milk and they have to suck, and then they are frustrated. Baby's frustrated, so they don't get enough. That's number one. Number two, it can cause you pain, and that is a common challenge with breastfeeding. Also, if your baby doesn't latch properly, it just looks like they're sucking in gas, like they're just taking in gas and they're not taking enough breast milk. So yes, you don't want that. In order to be able to achieve this first latching technique that I explained, your position is important, which I hinted you already at the beginning. You don't do like this to put your breast to the baby, you bring your baby to breast. So to achieve that, make sure that you're seated comfortably on a chair. It could be anywhere that you're comfortable. Make sure you're seated comfortably. Then you rest your back, and bring your baby to breast. If you don't do this sitting position correctly, you find out that you're tired early. Your baby might want to suck for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then 5 minutes into doing this, your back is aching, you're uncomfortable, and all of that. So you might be tempted to just drop the baby. So what I advise is this appropriate technique. You're relaxed, okay? You sit in a relaxed position, bring your baby to breast. What I did, and I know that a lot of people also do this to help, is you can just grab a pillow, right, and place on your lap. So when you're doing this, your hand is supporting the baby, and then your hand is in between the pillow and your baby, but you're helping the baby. Do you understand? And your hand is not going to pain you. The weight of your baby is not solely on your hands, it's on the pillow. This way you're comfortable, you can stay for as long as your baby wants to feed for, and you won't have any problems. Okay, now let's go further. So now we know about the latching technique and the mother's position. Now let's go a step further. Feeding frequency. You know that every newborn is meant to feed every 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so you don't leave your child and say, oh, they're not crying, or the baby is sleeping peacefully, wake up to feed. So this generally depends on your baby. Just track your baby, understand your baby, understand when they have eaten enough and when they've not eaten enough. So if your baby needs to feed more frequently, you will know. If your baby requires just a little less than other babies, that's fine, but understand your baby. One feeding session to ensure that your baby gets the adequate nutrient is supposed to last for about 10 to 15 minutes. At every nursing session, the first milk that comes out is usually lighter, and it's nothing to worry about because the first one that comes out mostly contains water, so your child has enough water that they need for their body. So there's what we call the foremilk and the hind milk. So the foremilk is lighter, like I said, it's the one that comes out first. The hind milk is the one that comes out later. So for your baby to be fully satisfied and get as much nutrient as possible, you don't just feed for like 2 minutes. That's just the foremilk that the child has gotten. So for the child to get the foremilk and the hind milk and the entire nutrients, because all the fats, the very sweet ones, everything that comes behind is the one that comes with more of the nutrients. So ensure that you feed your baby for like 15 minutes at every nursing session. Once your baby has taken both the fore and the hind milk, you're sure that the baby has emptied one particular breast, then you're sure that the baby has gotten adequate nutrients. If the baby still wants to feed more, then you can swap to the other breast. By the way guys, I have a video on breast milk supply and how much it should be and how to increase your breast milk supply. I'll leave a link down in the description box below so that you can check it and know how to get enough breast milk supply. I did 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding for my child, and you can achieve that, except there are other medical conditions that will not allow for such. But without that, I think that every mother can achieve that if you set your heart to do it. And there's something I mentioned in that video that I also mentioned here. Breast milk supply happens by feedback mechanism. So if you say your breast milk supply is not enough and then you just say, I'm giving up on this thing, this is how it works. When you empty your breast to breastfeed, the body sends a signal that the breast is empty, right? The baby needs to feed, so your body will produce more. So the more you feed, the more your body produces. If you say you're not producing enough and then you just rest like that, you're not helping yourself, you're not helping the baby. What you can do within that interval is for you to pump. The more you pump, even if your baby is sleeping or they don't want to latch and feed, pump for a while, get some breast milk into a bottle or into a cup or something, and then your body will produce more. That way you will have sufficient breast milk. And the truth is, towards the first 3 months, well, let's say 3-4 months, the breast milk supply is actually plenty. If you do the things that I said, like in that video, you have sufficient breast milk. Like it's then it begins to, reduce, especially when you introduce your baby to other meals or other things, and your baby doesn't need as much breast milk as they used to. It's not naturally reduced. But if you keep putting your baby to breast, keep pumping, you will have enough breast milk supply for your child. Also, there are several factors that affect your breast milk supply. You need enough water, you need to rest. I explained all these things in detail in that other video, and I recommend you go and watch that. If you have absolutely any question concerning breastfeeding, you can drop them in the comment section. I'll respond to anything, and if the questions are a lot, I might just do a Q&A session. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Please share to anyone that you think will enjoy or will learn one or two things from this. So please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. See you guys in my next video. Bye.